Hi, this is John, and today I want to talk about how to choose an online business model. And this is really important if you're just getting started online, or maybe you've been trying to work online for a while but have been struggling to get traction and see some success. Now, this is really important concept, so please watch this all the way through as we go over this. This is probably one of the most important things just to make sure you understand, and will help really clarify, I think, what you need to focus on to get your online business off the ground and seeing success. So before you think about, going out and buying a course or buying a product or getting some training, first you just need to realize what your current situation is and how you need to approach your online business because of your current situation. So basically, what I've drawn here are 4 different quadrants. And everybody who's working online is going to fall into one of these 4 quadrants. So let's talk about the first quadrant, okay? And the first quadrant is where you are time poor and you're also money poor, okay? And unfortunately, this is where a lot of people find themselves. You have no time and you have no cash. So not a great combination. And if you're in quadrant 1, no money, no time, then you do not need to even be thinking about quitting your day job. You need to keep that day job. And in fact, you need to really save up at least, a good chunk of money, several $100s, really in the $500 to $1,000 range, so that you have money to actually start your online business. And it'll keep you from being desperate. So many people, they actually fail because, they're desperate and they're trying to force something to happen, and that never works out, okay? The money that you set aside, it's going to allow you to, get some of the online business tools that you're going to need to run a business. Things like a domain name, a hosting provider, an email autoresponder, page builders, and other things that you may need depending on your business model. But the important thing is that whatever business model you choose, it must be low cost, okay? Because you don't have any money, right? You just don't have a lot of money to sink into this or to invest in it. And so what are some some business models that you could pursue? Well, you can get into freelancing, sites like Fiverr, Upwork, etc., where you're performing services. You can actually, get into affiliate marketing. But you have to be smart. Use free traffic. If you like writing, you could get into things like Kindle publishing. You could sell PLR, etc. Okay, so there's lots of things that you can do that if you don't have a lot of time or money, but it's got to be low cost. That is super, super important. So make sure you keep that in mind. And at this point, there is really one thing that you need to focus on, and that is free traffic. You don't have money for paid traffic, so you need to focus on free traffic, okay? And you're going to be doing all this work yourself because you don't have money to outsource it. You cannot outsource it until you start making some money. So you don't need to get it, sidetracked by e-commerce and, selling supplements and trying to have your own products that you're putting on Amazon, FBA, etc. You don't have money for that, okay? Now, the other problem is you don't have a lot of time, okay? So guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to make time, find time. You're going to have to stop maybe watching TV or surfing on YouTube. You're going to have to find a way to make time, okay? You're going to need to set aside at least 20 or 30 minutes every day, and you're going to have to make sure you put that time in every single day working on developing free traffic to whatever model that you're working on, okay? Now, things like Kindle publishing have some free traffic built in, right? That's kind of nice. Freelancing, a lot of those big websites like Fiverr, etc., they have traffic built in. So that is a big plus. So if you find yourself time poor, money poor, you're in quadrant 1, you need to have a super low cost business model and focus heavily on free traffic. Now, if you're in quadrant 2, you might be time rich, but still money poor. And so the challenge here is you have all kinds of time. You have lots of time to devote to your business, but you just don't have much money, okay? So you're really in a similar situation as quadrant 1. It's just that you have more time. And so you need to use that time wisely, okay? And this is where, you hear people talk about, grinding, and basically what they're talking about is just putting in the time to get those websites made, to develop that product, to work on that traffic source. And so, up front, you are going to be putting in a lot of time because you don't have money to outsource and to speed things up. Now, once things start taking off and you start making some money, then you may be able to outsource and start to automate some of what you do. And so therefore you can reduce the time, but that comes later. So you need to put in the effort, you need to kind of grind up front, and you need to follow a low-cost business model. So again, back to these ideas: freelancing, affiliate marketing, Kindle publishing, selling PLR, and probably one of the big ones I did not put on here, but YouTube. YouTube video marketing is low cost. You can start with just your phone. You can upload, you can make videos with your phone, upload it, and get traction on YouTube. And so you are going to need to follow one of these low-cost business models. So now, let's go down here. If you're in quadrant 3, this is where you're time poor, but money rich. So you don't have a lot of time, but you do have money. Now, guess what? When you have money, when you have cash, things do become a lot easier because you have more options, all right? And so while you can continue to focus on low-cost business models if you want, when you have cash, it opens opportunities for other business models. And this could be maybe flipping websites. It could be doing Amazon FBA. It could be maybe drop shipping. It could be using paid ads for affiliate marketing. So, things like that, right? So you have a lot more options, right? Amazon FBA, you have to buy products at a low cost, ship them to Amazon. So you need money for that. You don't have money when you're up here in quadrant 1 or quadrant 2. So you can't really, Amazon FBA is not really an option because you may have to spend several hundred or several $1,000s to get product to ship to Amazon and then wait for those sales to happen to get your money back. Now, you don't have a lot of time, but you do have money. And so what you can is you can, outsource, right? And this is, unfortunately, a mistake that a lot of people when they're starting out make is they're really up here in quadrant 1, but they think they're in quadrant 3. And so they're spending money that they really don't have and that they can't afford to. And so they're buying courses, about these things, drop shipping and how to do paid ads with Facebook ads or what, and you really don't have money, first of all, to be buying those courses that teach about these business models that require money because you don't have money. And so a big mistake people make is they're up here in quadrant 1, but they're trying to pursue business models that are really down here in quadrant 3. Okay, and so that's a mistake. That's where you go wrong, and don't make that mistake, right? So there is a little bit of a mismatch here, right? And so if you're in quadrant 3, you got to choose your business model, and then you got to take the time to really study it thoroughly, because once you understand it, then you are able to, because you have money, outsource, okay? You're able to outsource the work so that you can pursue one of these business models, because you don't have time. So, but you do have money. And because of that, you save time by outsourcing and having other people do a majority of the work. And this could be you're having them create the websites, and you're going to just take that website and flip it. You don't have to make it the website because you outsource it. You might be hiring, if you're doing e-commerce, drop shipping, you might hire somebody to build out your Shopify store. So that's the thing. You're using the money that you have to outsource the work because you don't have the time. So this is a fairly good, position to be in as quadrant 3, but you still need to make sure you stay in budget. Don't be spending money that you don't have. And so outsource everything you're able to within your budget. All right. And so lastly, we find ourselves over here where you are time rich and money rich. Okay. Which is, the best place to be. You have everything. You have lots of time. You have lots of money. Now, this can also be a little bit of a tricky place to be, because sometimes when you have a lot of time and a lot of money, you maybe make mistakes because you go out and you buy these $5,000 courses and you think you're going to learn, and it turns out that course really doesn't teach everything. And so now you go out and buy another $5,000 course, and you can really burn through money very, very quickly, especially if you don't understand what you're doing, right? Because a lot of people think, I got money, I'm going to run Facebook ads. And you could spend literally hundreds or thousands of dollars to dial in that Facebook ad, to test it, to tweak it, to get that campaign where it's actually profitable. And if you have time and money, you can do that, but you do have to be committed to learning and to growing and to tweaking. And so if you don't have that commitment, then it really doesn't matter how much time and how much money you have. But you do have lots of options. And these include, everything over in quadrant 3, but also includes, offline things, right? You could get into real estate, stocks, things that you don't necessarily need to be online for, but you need to be wise. You need to make sure you understand, and you can actually set up a lot of things that can be done in a passive way. Amazon FBA can be very passive because all you're doing is, once you find a winning product that sells great, you're buying large volume, shipping it to Amazon, and let them do their sales. So all you're really doing is replenishing your stock when it sells out. And so there's really no limits here to what you can do if you have a lot of time and you have a lot of money. And so you can, again, pursue any of these, but just make sure, again, that you're wise in how you do this, okay? And so there's the nice thing, again, here is if you have both time and money, there's a lot of offline options that are available to you that you want to make sure you keep in mind as well. So making money online is great. It can be a nice option, but there's a lot of offline options once you get into quadrant 4. So just to kind of recap, you need to understand where you are before you choose what online business model you want to go with. And you need to be honest, okay? If you're in quadrant 1, be honest. And you might think you're going to grab the tiger by the tail and just start, running Facebook ads and making money from affiliate commissions. And trust me, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not easy. You don't have money for that. You can, again, blow through a lot of money running Facebook ads. So you got to do something that's low cost. If you have some skills, get on Fiverr, set up an account, offer your services, and you'll start getting orders. You can do affiliate marketing through free traffic. You can build a website, build a blog, work on SEO, get that up. If you like writing, do some publishing on Kindle or other online sources. YouTube, man, if you're willing to overcome, the fear of being on camera or the fear of the sound of your own voice, YouTube is awesome. There's so much free traffic built in, and YouTube is great. I can't speak highly enough about YouTube. but you got to be realistic where you're at. Start where you're at. Obviously, being time poor and money poor is not the position you ideally want to be in, but it may be where you are, so be honest, and then work your way up. Put in the effort. Start making some money. Find that time. If you start making money, you could move down here where now you have money. You just don't have time. Okay? And so, but because you have money, because you put in the grind up here, now you can start outsourcing things and then eventually move over into quadrant 4. So I hope this is helpful. I hope it gives you some insight into how to focus your efforts based on where you are and just being honest with yourself. And I wish you the best with your online business model.